Hey everyone, this is Dork Duo Plays The Great Journey Adventures, Case 1, the final chapter of Case 1, and Batu's brain is being racked.
My neurons are firing off so violently right now.
Yes.
It's been like a very fun experience, I will say. Oh, well, I understand you are the judicial assistant to the defense. Why the sudden ingress into my courtroom?
Ha! A judicial assistant, and a woman no less. The rules state
Dang.
that females are not permitted to this court of law other than to testify. Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. Ha! You're too late, little girl. This trial has already been concluded.
As if 5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency! I am most grateful. Who exactly are you? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now. What is it? A report about something written in English. It's Giselle Brett's research. This Englishwoman's? After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper.
Oh, yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with this case? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh, no, of course not.
Special characteristics of...
Curare, I guess.
Curare?
Yeah,
Curare. And its effects on human subjects. Interesting.
Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before. Time's up! The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. There was too little time for me to read in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it would be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful. Thank you. Alright.
Sweet! New evidence.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
We have had long enough, counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. I ask that the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
We might have something.
Yeah.
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Rinosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. I was once that, before I took on this job. Well, Miss Brett?
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer?
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid... it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline...
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realized it was phrased as a question. However...
I guess she doesn't understand rhetoric.
I must ask you to treat this as an order.
I've said it many times before, but... the Japanese English makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. I'm not really sorry, you kind of dissed us. So, counsel. My kind of people. What is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
I mean, obviously, it's the only thing we have at our disposal.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yes!
Take it.
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at UMA University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison. What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, Council? A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection! What complete and utter nonsense! Curare,
really?
you
Would you like
say?
to take it?
I've never even heard of it!
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before. One very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country.
Which is why when they conducted tests on every toxin of that they knew of, it showed up negative. Because curare doesn't exist in their country. Uh-huh.
So no wonder they couldn't find it.
It doesn't exist. Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. What?
Oh, now we got you. Shut up! Dad, you're so loud. Council, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
Oh, we could have used those. The report states that is produced from an extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. And it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sums it up, Miss Brett?
Objection! Trumpery! These aspersions are utter trumpery! To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain from the other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector?
He ain't that fancy. Obviously, we've noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice Professor being in any kind of pain.
I mean, that's the point of instant death, Ryunosuke. According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
Exactly what it means, the other way around. The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment the toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they are in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all.
How terrible.
Yeah, that actually is scary.
Yeah?
Obviously, if a man lost all his strength in his muscles, he collapsed on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison caused immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. And the more I think about it, the more I don't like this at all.
Respiration?
Ugh. In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation.
Yep.
Oof. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. Jeez Louise.
That's
I don't like that.
hideous.
Yeah. To the observer, it will look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living
Nightmare.
a living nightmare. Yeah, let's go with that. That's the true nature of this deadly Karari poison. I mean, but still, how would you be able to figure it out if you don't have the means to do it? And you're suggesting that this bottle, Council, actually contains this terrifying poison?
Objection! This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense. Ahem, if I may. All these facts. You think you're so clever. Must be got some. Shut up! It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady!
Okay. But what do you have to say about it?
So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? I'll never forget the Japanese.
Oh.
Joseph Joestar?
Oh, no wonder.
What? You steal another's honest hard work, and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. Look at him. You really think he'd do something like that? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection! Enough of this! I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
Wait, what do you mean?
What's so funny? Oh, excuse me. Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see, why not. Don't give her the bottle.
She'll break it.
She'll tamper with it. Oh, no.
She's going to kill herself.
Oh, no, don't do it.
Or we'll see. Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry.
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics. It's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers. Wait! What are you doing? No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Goodness. Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned.
Oh, no curare. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying?
You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
I'd like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. No, don't let her go, guys! What the heck? No! That doesn't prove anything! Doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. No, there couldn't have. Check the glass! So how did she...
That's not the issue here, Patu. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's not the glass.
Wait, really?
The bottle did have poison in it. Yeah.
What the... How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale?
How did she?
I don't know. I don't understand it.
Synopsis. A poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. Hunters of the region use it each time to incapacitate their prey. The effects, instant paralysis, and the entire body's route of entry. The above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Through a wound. If it doesn't enter through a wound,
And
though...
the gun didn't... Yeah, but... So the poison doesn't have an effect unless it penetrates the body. But
Yeah, it
that
has
would
entered the
make
bloodstream.
sense because- Yeah, so the... Okay. But,
Have you ever had
Well, that
your
would mean
teeth
that
taken
they
out,
have
Patu?
to put... Yeah, I mean, you would have to put the poison through the bullet wound, right? Because technically that did go through the body.
Patu, you're thinking about it a little too much. Think, when
Wait,
you
what?
have your teeth removed, and the reason why you have to only drink water, why is that?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So it went through his tooth wound. Oh, I don't understand it. Now I get it. That's
And that's
very
exactly
sneaky.
why she is not affected. Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation the next party I attend in London. There has to have been poison in that bottle. Doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water.
It contains poison.
The culprit did put Karari poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position.
You're serious?
Objection! Fool!
Bro, are you serious?
Are you are you blind? There's no possible way the bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw Miss Brett drinking the water from it. That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe that complication can be explained. How exactly? I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be.
Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, why don't you drink it? Just kidding.
There's nothing
that
left to
wasn't-
drink.
Oh, darn it. I wanted to try some of that sparkly bubbly. Then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. Come to think of it, maybe it's not sparkly anymore. What explains how the witness was able to consume the supposedly poisoned water unscathed?
Yes! It's still in the journal. The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report. Objection! That's not a valid explanation. No. After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This
Yeah,
impudent
but
young
it's still me.
scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
Jeez.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Stosan's notes.
I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, Counsel. What section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle?
That'd be the special characteristics. But in case you were curious, you can always check like stuff during, you know, during your questioning.
Oh, that's a handy feature.
Mm-hmm.
So special characteristics then.
We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison.
I didn't notice that thing on his hand either.
Oh yeah, it's just kind of
It's
a
weird.
hand guard glove thing. And it's left me
Yeah, it
curious
looks
about
cool.
something.
Oh, Counsel?
Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years to lace the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting.
So we've been led to believe, yes.
And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point, please! But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean that there would be traces of poison up in the prey the hunters were going to eat?
Yes, good point.
So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison.
Gracious, Counsel. No, that would be madness.
But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound.
Through a wound, you say? I see. That makes sense.
Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me though.
Uh-oh.
But it all makes
Starting to
sense
fall
when you
apart.
interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poison effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew curare's special characteristics. And you knew that you can make a spectacle drinking that water without any danger to yourself. You meddling little rapscallion!
Snap. That goose was alive, Ryunosuke. Did you see that?
I saw!
Or Swan. Oh, well, Ryunosuke, it turns out the swan was a lie.
Oh, wow!
You're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be.
Really? Me? A lawyer? Objection! Oh, all this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I fail to see how it possibly— Shut up! So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. And
I'm
stupid.
just jealous.
And dumb. And idiotic. And moronic. What are you trying to say?
Wow, she's mean. I think she's trying to say you don't have any brains.
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Okay.
Schoolboyish?
What the? What?
As even your brain has managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus. Oh, yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they? So, it doesn't seem the poison is completely harmless when drunk. The professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? Oh! That's right.
Good gracious.
Sounds like they've
Second
forgotten
time
a
I've
very
said that.
important detail.
Yeah.
That's basic science. Science even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no?
Okay, but still. Order! Order in the court! Order!
I want a
The
cheeseburger.
logical. With extra fries. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Or are you trying to suggest?
Yes! This curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial.
I don't think so.
That's right. Surely a little cockroach like you understands something as simple as that. What is this? Welling up inside me.
Oh,
I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Objection!
the thing. Yo, what happened here, man?
I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead.
Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we know now that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curare?
So,
Out of his tooth! His tooth!
which would be...
Yeah, the medical
Yep.
report card.
Take that! Miss Brett's... As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners.
Fatal difference? Uh-oh. Gotcha.
The toxic effects of curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But, what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day.
That said, use that knowledge to orchestrate this.
Is she crazy? Laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile. What? What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough.
What?
You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! I mean, it could just slip.
You wouldn't.
She did.
Oh, I hate you. I honestly hate you now.
Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some
You.
crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
What in the...
No! What is it? What just happened? It's the Englishwoman. She just smashed that bottle. In the Supreme Court. What a terrible blunder.
Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible, at once!
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet on my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. How could you? You won't get away with this! You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in the bottle, or not. And now, Patu, we can go back around to the fact that there may be a cup still left. Now we can go back to that thought. I was like, you're on it really quickly, but you're too ahead of it at the moment.
Dang.
And let's not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution? Oh, of course, of course! You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady? That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was signaling this back to me. So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is a little schoolboy. Objection! Objection! Oh wait, that's Cosmo's. Oops.
Oh.
Oh well.
No! You killed the victim that day, using karate. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruto for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime.
What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly! And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruto. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene.
Ryunosuke,
Yes?
come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it.
What? What do you mean?
We lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there's any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head?
You once told me that you had no. Was it? I forgot how that saying went. Never mind. You told me before that the powers of observation were the one thing that you could really depend upon.
What were you trying to call to your memory?
Oh, I was just gonna say like, so you once told me that you had no thoughts, head empty.
Yes, that is true. Both of those statements, but I didn't manage to notice this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head.
So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
What I saw, what I felt. Every color.
Oh,
Is Kazuma right? Summoned the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer?
there's a clue. That blood on the corner.
Maybe. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue.
You always come up with some. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke?
Usually an arm, yes.
That's not what I meant. Come on, then. Let's wipe that smug smile off that English woman's face with some evidence.
Alright, I can't wait!
And if that fails, I'll use my sword.
It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is that could be the key, whatever it is could be the key to writing the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is... I mean, like, what else? Right?
It is right there. Yeah.
Take that! Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes?
Snap to it.
What is it? Ugh, he's still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day. Objection! Wait a minute! Where are you going? Shut up! Where are you going, this little boy? I got cut off again! It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scenes shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a splattering of blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Ah!
Oh. Yes. For blood to have made it on the plate, it implies that the plate was between the victim and the shooter.
Interesting.
Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Oh, Giselle Brett!
I beg your
Stop
pardon?
making the googly eyes.
Objection! This is beyond ridiculous! Fabricated nonsense! Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused is apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you'd been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all. In the name of justice. I am bleeding from my mouth still. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it, now!
Spectre! The court wishes to examine the plate of the victim's table immediately.
Yes, sir!
Oh boy.
Sorry for the delay. Here's
Not
what
gonna
you
finish
ordered.
that.
The steak. Did you just ask to finish it?
Yeah, now you have to eat the blood-stained steak.
Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't!
Quickly, Inspector. The blood, man! Show the court! Well, even the
course.
judge is getting hyped.
Examine the plate at your leisure.
Wait.
No blood.
No.
No.
Blood.
No blood.
What the?
No blood
what?
anywhere. But no, that's impossible! I know
Where
I
is
saw it. I know, right? Hold on. What?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, there's wait, right there.
I mean, this is a black and white scene,
There-
but yeah.
Well, yeah, but, huh. Where's
I know
blood,
I
then?
saw it. I'm sure of it.
This doesn't make any sense.
It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate.
I think my head dropped.
What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see? This is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. Ugh. I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire. Nice save.
I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial. But you said that 3 times
Let's
already.
hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise you my best to forget all about it when it's over. Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
Isn't that... This steak look like it's been eaten off of like a lot more than the other one, hasn't it?
You think so?
Kinda.
Let's see.
Well, look at it. That doesn't look like the same steak. I thought the other steak looked more full.
You may be on some, Patu.
Hmm.
So, what do
weird.
you think? The sorry-looking accused wishes to examine again. Be my guest. And now we can examine the steak. What's the plate I saw? Or thought I saw? Just a thing of my imagination?
No. You got it, Rinosuke. It's gotta be. Okay, so yeah, there's a bull insignia.
This emblem on the side of the plate. Is it a cat?
It's a cow, obviously. Most likely because the restaurant's signature dish is beefsteak. It seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware.
So this is similar to Carnival, is it?
Okay. What about the other side? Or oh
Wait a minute!
What the heck? Is that
What's
a
that
coin?
Hohe Era coin?
What is it doing under the steak?
Huh?
Unless he
What the?
did you take the wrong one?
What in the world is this?
I think it's a Koban coin. And the hallmark of the Hoy era, I believe.
No, I don't mean what is it? I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban?
Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable.
This isn't the first time today there's been talk of a Hoei Koban.
For pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bullion.
And I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means...
Certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath this thick cut of meat. And it's from the Hoy era too. That would make it really quite valuable.
It's well marinated in the juices as well. Look.
What? Are you thinking of eating it?
I am hungry. No. The next time we're at a steak in an expensive restaurant, one thing's for sure. My heart's going to be racing as I look at the meat and appear need for a prize.
I think you might have the wrong end of the stick about this, Rinosuke.
A Koban coin with a steak. There's only one logical explanation. We now have all the information we need about this plate of steak.
Yeah. That's the freaking wrong thing then.
This is it now. I've lost.
Rinosuke. It's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what.
Believe in myself. Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself.
As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection?
That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this play of stake reveal any other clues at all? Well, there might be another thing.
Yeah.
Your Excellency, please wait! This play of beef is hiding another clue! Another clue will reveal the shocking truth! Objection! The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beef steak!
Don't act like you don't want it.
I don't! I'm a vegetarian. Your Excellency,
oh,
I think I made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more necessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As nobody from down in my country, that's still your position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is the new clue to be found?
Got it!
Got it! Oh, we had to flip up the steak. I forgot to click A. Whoops.
Oh, no counts. I'm afraid this one, dude. That was ambiguous. Okay. Actually, identify detail. Okay, you guys did. Alright. Yeah. So do so.
Congrats, now you know what a penalty looks like.
Oh.
There we go. Got it!
Good gracious. That's the third time I've said that. That's...
Koban? What on earth? Hoyer wanted that. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beef that you ordered at the restaurant the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? Shut up! What a ridiculous question! How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what this is, but I want no part of it. Objection! I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef and a moment of distraction. I was just throwing around objections.
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen. A rare Hoy Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to the Great Britain right now.
He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency!
Yes, Counsel?
A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to this case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now! Which is funny, because I'm not actually a... Objection! By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway! Shut up! Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that this is you who is irrelevant. You're relevant! Even though I'm the one on trial here?
How are you irrelevant?
The point is, it's essentially we ask the owner of the coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak.
The owner?
You know who we gotta bring back!
Oh boy, it's that guy.
It's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of this Koban that was found with the beef steak is... Curio Kurekta.
Hey.
Take that! Obviously, it can only be the antiques de la Ruste, Curio Correctason. Curie, as in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct?
Yes, Your Excellency.
I remember him saying that he was up to something with the Koban coin when it happened. Exactly the moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoyer Koban, my prize coin!
Then this Hoya Koban, do you mean to tell me?
Objection! No, no, no! Please, why would Correctasan's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's steak and its plate? It makes no sense.
Yes!
Yes!
It could make sense.
Which is why I'm asking to bring Correctasan back to the witness stand so we can ask him.
Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. This is getting good.
I can't believe we come back round to that pair again. I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find it's a key element in the case.
I wonder if she just wanted to steal it.
Now we got four
yes,
dingbats
Melissa.
on the witness stand.
What's this about? Why I haven't called up again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Ido? Well, my son's belly is empty. He's faster than a pack of wolves.
Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice. A worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. The sun has set on this rusty shop owner's existence.
Be that as it may, correct the son. Something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your
Ah! Yes, that's it! The one, the very one! That's the very exact one that it is!
Oh, I think I have a heart attack. Oh.
The resplendent, splendiferous holy treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be. As I thought. Young man! Enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere.
We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously?
Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident. Which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my Hoei treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing!
I mean, I think we know.
I mean, it couldn't possibly be Mr.
Oh.
Sweating Bullets over here. Excuse me.
Of course not.
Could I say something? Yes, of course.
Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga.
I mentioned this earlier in the trial, but I was working on recovering the restaurant in order to investigate the case. Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. Le Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau.
Wicked crimes, indeed.
We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban is since the work of the same thief.
So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems.
I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Correctasan's Koban is all too clear. What? What?
I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. I mean, I know this is a whole different case, but tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Correctasan's Koban and hid it under the stake? Well, I mean, yes and no, sir. He's got to be the one, right?
Well, but who's the one who swapped the plates?
Oh, but Miss Brett could have did it to draw attention away from, like, the killer then, right?
Well,
she was trying to cover all
no,
the
she was
bases.
taken away immediately, and then Evans was taken up by one man.
Oh, so Hosonaga must have took it then?
Take that! Yes, seems like a likely candidate for a Koban thief.
No, come on, Ryosuke.
Huh? You shocked me, Cosmo.
As much as you shocked me.
Yeah, so I led you on. But you were right, though. It is obviously Ieyasu.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I could have heard you correctly, Counsel. Let me hear your opinion on this matter again.
Oh, sorry. Take that! Obviously. It can only be you. Sergeant Ieyasu.
What? How? How dare you monster!
Monster?
I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of Le Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet. But it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido's the mastermind behind all this. You blamed your own kid? Come on,
You would
man.
push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby. It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa.
I still think the baby did it.
Now he has a Wario mustache.
Newborn Imperial Army Sergeant Ieyasu, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. That's Wario mustache, man.
Yep.
Oh, he still kept it too. Do any of you know Of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those who it expects to keep our country safe. I understand that the temporary increase of taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. Kinda stupid. And I've heard that it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son.
That's why you were stealing things at a restaurant.
The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time.
It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable.
And your target that day was the old man and his koban? Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
Easy target, am I? I have a knife.
Oh God.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang.
Yes, when the professor was shot.
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I know too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again and at a later date.
This is ridiculous. Perhaps you can carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett. Oh, of course, dear lady, of course! How rude of us! I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentleman please be excused, Your Excellency?
Indeed. The theft of the kobold was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. Though it certainly appeared to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin in a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Nonsense, is it?
Well, oof.
And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
No one cares, though. You can eat steak how you want. Very well. Now all questions concerning this witness testimony have been answered. I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
No, screw you. Come back. Rinosuke, what's the matter with you? There's no time for daydreaming.
Oh, no, it's just something about Miss Brett's parting words that got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. Oh.
Okay. Parting words. Good
I
day.
felt like there was a contradiction there somewhere. Something didn't add quite up. I got my words backwards, whatever, who cares?
If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking, make your voice heard.
Sorry?
You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it! Wait, Miss Brett! What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction? Objection! What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
Meat. Steak without fork and a knife. Huh. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. It did?
I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where's the evidence to prove it?
She's saying that not eating with a fork and a knife is stupid, but
yeah, it's not even using a fork and a knife. So, wait a minute. But, maybe if they used a fork and a knife, like with that plate, I don't know. Because he said like because he didn't. If the coin was hit,
actually,
I don't know.
It's the way the steak's eaten. Those are bite marks.
Yeah, so this is the wrong plate.
No,
which means
well,
is it?
Yeah, wait, what?
Yeah, because if those are bite marks on that steak, then there's no way you could have used a fork and a knife. So that must be the wrong plate then. So she must have took the steak from. Ooh boy! The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred.
What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table.
Steak that Miss Brett has been eating before the professor was killed? Yes, go on.
More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're just splitting hairs, which I don't have much of. Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten.
Oh.
I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Notice what exactly, Counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could ever contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself. Then take a good look at that steak. In particular, the edge where it's been eaten. Yep. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. Ah!
Oh! Ah! Should've kept your mouth shut. Looks like Miss Brett has realized something.
So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all. Objection! But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry and couldn't help— Shut up! Huh. Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course, of course. This will be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave everything to— Shut up! I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers?
Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have for her.
Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this?
No freaking clue.
Alright, let's wing it.
Alright.
No pun intended.
Yes. Now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. the reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day.
I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency. Everything?
Oh.
Yes, either these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Shut up! Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You would know the meaning of that phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, present it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been... What? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist. Objection! This is absurd! This trial has run several hours already! And you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? That can't
Hungry,
be!
I'm thirsty.
I don't believe you have it! I'm hungry and thirsty too! Objection! I don't! But there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. So I jumped ahead way earlier. The person who could have it. And if that person is this piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Well, I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial, even though I said that many times before. Who possesses conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth of this whole affair? It's Hosonaga, isn't it?
Yeah. Take that!
Freaking thief.
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yeah. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth marks.
Oh, whoops. My screen froze.
Oh, he just said yes.
Dang it. Hold on. Oh, okay.
Can you see the screen?
Oh, okay. Everything seems to be moving kind of okay. Okay. I think I'm good.
Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoyed chomping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing Correcta-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak.
You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer.
Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was this coin under, in fact, your own steak?
Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it.
In other words, the steak the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal. Objection! But that makes no sense! The plate was taken from the victim's table. Objection! Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox? I
Exactly!
think you grabbed the wrong plate.
Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over. That you're suggesting that, aren't you?
Oh dear.
You did switch the plates! Literally ruining everything. Sergeant Yesanosa.
He should be put in a jail cell 6 feet under. Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, and I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my stake and hit the coin underneath it. But then, when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military position and timing, I switched my stake with the one on the foreign lady's table.
What? You can't have! I never saw you do such a thing!
Called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you, so yes! I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable!
Well, I think that... Oh, however, they're not, Prosecutor-san.
What now?
I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform. That is all I did, sir.
That's all you did. You know, ruin the entire investigation. All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant!
Yes!
Yes! So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak, and the plate it was on, back to his own table.
Yes, follows.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak out of the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. Ah! That's correct. It looks like Miss Brett's having a bit of a hard time right now.
Yeah, she doesn't look very happy. Good.
Now please present to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table the precise moment he was shot. Shut up! What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold side with tough meat? It can't just... Ugh! The slightest bearing on the case!
Objection!
Shut up! No, you're not wriggling your way out of this time, lady.
I beg your pardon?
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan and promises to prove such a problem for you. No.
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers. Quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest.
I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let's not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident.
Yes, sir!
Ah, there we go. Don't eat it.
Sorry for keeping you. Here's the other steak in its plate. Please, feel free to examine it.
Ah, there's the blood. That's what we were looking for.
The bloodstain. It's clearly visible, look!
Yes!
Yes! Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that the moment the victim was shot, he was facing a table with his back to me.
In other words, is it possible for Naruto-san to have shot the victim?
Ah! It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Mr. Zale Brett. It's you! Done. By a Japanese. Me. By a Japanese schoolboy. No. No. No!
Whoa. Holy
Yeah!
poop in a sock. What in the world? What's going on? What?
She's having a breakdown.
Jeez.
She's having a breakdown! Oh.
What the? Where are you going? What is? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a case.
Oh, you'll see weirder.
Happened. Oh. Well, I can't wait.
Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Oh, Miss Brett? I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using karate. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because karate is unheard of here in Japan. I like how he's not looking at Kazuma anymore.
Yeah. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water and it would all be over. I would place the steak I'd ordered in front of him to make it appear as though I'd been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visit at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter. The fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happen to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of karate in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Under your skirt? So I was right. There were two guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. A place where you were sure I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun, as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point, he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that joins the kitchen and then locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around.
Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked up the gun. But why? Why would you do that?
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency,
Yes.
I wonder... Might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. Whew.
Jeez. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Takatsuchi Aoshi does not lose. Not the likes of this rookie student.
You better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ah! Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? Yes? This insult to the Aoshi family name will never be forgotten.
You become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Whoa. Ew, maybe I should have left it up. A thousand millennia may pass, and still the Aoshi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan, well, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and the deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure the science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asuki. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency.
Huh. What's with that look on his face?
I don't know. What mission were you talking about?
What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden?
Ah, never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo,
Oh, yes?
in you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that out onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty.
Woo!
Hey! Yeah! I like how Aochi's still liking the shot.
Yeah.
Like, what? Ow! Ow! This court is now adjourned. Ugh, that was great.
We're innocent! Yay!
Yeah!
I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it! I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial!
Ryunosuke! You finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma.
No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget.
Good afternoon. All your hard work was certainly paid off. No, I thought that was her dad. Whoops. Oh well.
Oops.
Congratulations to congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
You know, it's like when you have to clear your throat before you speak.
Yeah, she's need a drink of water.
Yeah, that's all. Not the Karari one, but our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much. If we hadn't had the research report, Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to university and investigate. Your father? Ah, yes, of course.
Hmm?
Speaking of Mikotoba. Ah, there you are. All your congratulations are in order. It's me this time.
Ah, there you are.
Naruhodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it has always be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right.
Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensics medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's where you met Dr. Wilson.
Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together?
I've never heard you mention that before.
Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asagi clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you?
Oh, of course I am. Sorry, thanks, Luna.
You're good.
The Japanese man's katana is a soul. This blade shows you where I need to go. And cuts down anything that's in my way.
Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
That reminds me, what happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
Yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Bread will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not? Oh, that's Judge, by the way.
Oh, it's a matter of consular jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm. Oh!
Oh,
whatever.
Oops.
Whatever. Inspector Hosonaga. I know Judge disappeared later on, but it was a hard-fought battle in this courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate... But what's all this about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case. Somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard.
Why a consular court?
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past, now that we've signed the friendship treaty.
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments. They can't invoke the consular court just like that.
Oh, can't they?
Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on.
So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for a young student. Today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over the custody. Yeah, it kinda is. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves.
Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it.
Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But, Professor...
You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Inosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun.
In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As a head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival! Will you come with us, Professor? Of course. La Carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh, yes. Thank you. So Giselle Bread won't be tried here. I suppose it means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma,
Yes, Ryunosuke.
I just want to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today.
I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all in work.
Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world.
I'm not so sure about that.
Hmm?
To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. Couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me.
What? Come on, be serious.
If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean.
Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you.
That's the point.
Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point?
Listen, Ryunosuke. You know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win?
Knowledge of the law?
No. The ability to believe.
To believe? To believe what?
A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times.
Like you believed me when I said I didn't do it.
I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person.
Believing in your client.
Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me.
Well,
You face seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it, through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me.
Thanks, Kazuma.
There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me.
It sounds serious. What is... Ah, you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go.
Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory.
I'm getting flashbacks to Mia.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting strong ones as well.
And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget.
Ah, yes, that too.
So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Suzuto-san, who acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still.
So,
It was because
Can't
of the help
believe
and
it.
support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. And that is the end of the episode.
Dang. Oh my gosh. That's so much suspense. Oh boy.
So thank you all so very much for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Check the links in the description. Keep an eye for community posts. And as always, we'll see you then.